As you move to cloud and platform models, secure by design becomes a team sport. Providers handle the foundations, but you're accountable for how your applications use them. In this module, we'll turn vague shared responsibility charts into concrete guardrails you can actually implement across your platforms. Manual compliance is a patchwork. Teams chase questionnaires, screenshots, and ad hoc reviews, while CISA, NIS2, and the CRA demand rigorous, provable controls. Cloud delivery moves too quickly for human gatekeeping, and every missed defect now carries real legal and contractual risk. The sustainable response is automation. Encode requirements as policy, enforce them continuously in pipelines and platforms, and generate evidence as a byproduct of how you build and run systems. Shared responsibility is the foundation for every secure by design claim you make in the cloud. Your provider secures the physical and core platform layers. You're accountable for everything you build on top: identities, configurations, application logic, and the data itself. Regulators and customers don't care whose logo is on the infrastructure. They'll ask, did you secure the layers you control? Your answer needs clear ownership, effective controls, and verifiable evidence at each layer. In a SaaS model, your core security job shifts. You're not patching operating systems or hardening networks. The provider owns most of that. Your real attack surface is how the service is configured: identity and SSO, roles and groups, sharing rules, retention, and integrations. Most serious SaaS incidents boil down to one root cause: misconfiguration. With PaaS and IaaS, secure by design really means secure by architecture. You're responsible for how services talk to each other, how data is structured, and how the OS and network are configured and patched. Think in layers: identity, segmentation, encryption, and hardened baselines for every compute and storage component you control. Because regulators and enterprise customers will ask for proof, you need repeatable builds, configuration policies, and auditable evidence that these layers are consistently hardened. Secure by design only works when we translate abstract rules into concrete things engineers build and auditors can verify. Think of it as a pipeline. Mandates from CISA, the UK, or the EU become architecture artifacts like reference designs, patterns, and threat models. Those artifacts drive specific controls in code, cloud configuration, and process. Finally, you collect evidence: logs, test results, SBOMs, and reviews. Use a RACI model so every control has a clear owner and clearly defined proof. Infrastructure as code is the main mechanism for making secure by design real in cloud platforms. Instead of documenting security baselines in PDFs or wikis, you express them as versioned code. That way, every change is peer-reviewed, testable, and auditable. It also lets you embed guardrails directly in Terraform or Bicep, and dramatically reduce configuration drift. Secure by design really starts with a few non-negotiable baselines that everything must inherit. For networks, that means zero trust, private subnets, and tightly restricted egress, so workloads can't quietly talk to the internet or to each other. For encryption, you standardize on always on, data at rest, data in transit, and automated key rotation rather than ad hoc keys. For resources, you enforce hardened images, least privilege, and lockdown storage. These baselines cut variance, shrink attack surface, and make audits predictable and repeatable. Policy as code turns your security and compliance rules into executable checks that run automatically on every change. Think of it as a robot auditor that never gets tired. It can block non-compliant deployments by default and continuously scan running systems for drift or violations. This shifts compliance from occasional audits to always on, real-time enforcement. Platform guardrails are how you turn secure by design mandates into something developers experience as help, not friction. Work in 3 layers. Preventive guardrails set secure defaults so unsafe choices are hard to make by accident. Detective guardrails watch for drift and misconfigurations, then alert the right team quickly. Corrective guardrails go further, auto-fixing low controversy issues. Together, they let teams move fast while the platform quietly enforces compliance at scale. To actually get teams using secure patterns, you have to make the secure way the easiest way. Golden paths do exactly that. They're pre-approved, reusable paths through your platform. Think curated service catalogs, hardened templates, and workflows that just work, so developers can move quickly while automatically staying inside your Secure by Design guardrails. Secure by Design guardrails only work when three systems move together. First, the technical system. Clear policies, reference architectures, and opinionated blueprints that make the secure path the default path. Second, the process system. Intake, reviews, approvals, and waiver workflows that define when you can deviate and who owns the risk. Third, the cultural system. Training, incentives, and leadership messages that make security part of how we build, not a side quest. Think of Secure by Design as a continuous loop rather than a one-off project. You start by translating mandates into concrete controls you own. Then you embed those controls directly into your SDLC so they run every day, not just during audits. Next, you expose them through platform abstractions and golden paths, so teams get security by default. Finally, you track metrics and evidence, and feed what you learn back into the next round of improvements. Secure by Design in cloud platforms comes down to 4 habits. Align your promises with the real shared responsibility model. Encode your security baselines as infrastructure as code. Continuously enforce them with policy as code and automated checks. And make the secure choice the easiest choice through opinionated self-service golden paths. Secure by Design isn't a tax on delivery. It's how you earn the confidence to move faster. Your next step is simple. Map your current platform against the guardrails we've covered. Where are security decisions ad hoc or left to individual teams? Where does the shared responsibility model rely on hope rather than clear ownership? Turn those gaps into a short, prioritized roadmap and schedule a review with engineering and leadership this quarter.